2. Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the Midwest Stitches podcast. My name is Danielle, and this is my crafting podcast. You can find me on Instagram at midwest.stitches or on my website at midweststitches.com. Today I have a couple of finished objects, an almost finished object if I just knit a little bit faster, and let's see, a little bit of shop news, sort of. We'll get into that later, and hopefully this will be a quick one. So yeah, let's jump right in. Sip of coffee. Cheers to you. And this is something we're going to discuss here in shop news. Okay, my first finished object. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen all of these already. So for those of you that don't, or if you do and you just want to see them again, here are a finished pair of socks. These are my Cozy Knitter Advent socks. This guy was the first one that I finished. Or no. Yeah. This is the first one that I finished back in December, and this is the one I just finished. So if you can maybe tell from back here, the tension is different. I knit them exactly the same, but the tension is different. This one is definitely a much tighter tension. So if you ever hear anyone talk about how you should knit a pair of something, one right after the other or consecutively, this is why. So yeah, these are done. I can finally gift them to Adrian. Super happy about that. And for these, I know I mentioned this last time, I followed the double-stranded sock pattern loosely. I loosely followed that by Julie of Twin Stitches Designs. And I did the Fleegle heel. And yeah, so those are done. And I think I can't remember what I knit those with. I think it was a 3.5 millimeter, maybe a 3.75. And these next ones are also worsted weight. So that's a worsted weight because it was 80/20. Oh my gosh, I'm just dropping things right and left. And my allergies, excuse me. I'm so sorry if you see me do this. I'm going to try and edit those out, but my allergies are driving me crazy around here. We're supposed to have really nice weather for at least a couple of days. And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but, and maybe it's just where I live, or it's just because I'm getting older, but whenever the weather changes, even just a little bit, like the temperature goes up or something, my nose just drives me crazy, even though I take allergy medicine. So, side note. Okay, I'll just show one because I don't want to put them both on the blocker. So I finished these. This is one of them, and this is not on the blocker, so it just looks like a big old tube. These are a gift for a friend. They're supposed to be a Christmas present, but they're obviously super late. These are just I didn't really follow a pattern. I cast on 10 on each needle, so 20 increased to 40, and then knit all the way up, did a sew and bind off. And these I did with the same needle I did with the other ones. And this is the Magic Heel from Judy of the Autumn Acorn. And this is my second pair I've knit with this, and it's actually the second pair in this yarn too. So, but I knit a pair of these for Adrian last year. And I had some people on Instagram ask me how I liked that heel. Did I like the fit, you know, etc. And I know that's a big question I've seen on a lot of Magic Heel sock posts is, how does it fit? How does it wear? I haven't knit one for me, obviously, like I just said, but I've knit one for Adrian, and he really likes them. He says they fit really well. They don't fall off his feet. It stretches really nicely here across the instep of the foot. But these are obviously worsted, so he's not wearing these in shoes or outside. So I don't know how they wear in a fingering weight sock or even a DK. But at the same time, unless you're really hard on your socks, your hand knit socks, which I don't know. I mean, are a lot of people hard on their hand knit socks? I mean, we're wearing them, you know, if you have the Birkenstocks and socks thing, you know, wearing them in those isn't gonna be hard on them, I don't think. Or, you know, if you're not wearing them to like work out in or outside without shoes on, like in our house, we have like a cement patio. So if I wore hand knit socks out there, it's probably gonna rough up the bottom, that kind of thing. So just, you know, maybe give it a try if you have some scraps that you don't mind using up, or, you know, something like that where you're just like, okay, I want to use up some yarn. I want to try out something new, and you don't really care if it's maybe a matching pair or something like that. I think this would be great for that. This you obviously can't do a contrast in, because if you did, it would be this whole block. And maybe that's something you want to do, or if you were doing scraps and you had like one color and it kind of changed and it went like this, and then you had like this whole chunk was another scrap, and so on. But that's kind of the only thing you can do, toes and cuffs. But yeah, I didn't say, this is the Lion brand denim collection. I got this years ago. This is just an acrylic worsted weight yarn, but that's another thing I kind of want to talk about, because like I said, Adrian loves these, and this is not meant to be sock yarn, not in the traditional sense. It doesn't have nylon in it, so it's not really supposed to be like a stretchy yarn. But maybe if you're just getting into sock knitting, or you want to do some quick gifts that aren't going to cost you a lot, maybe check, you know, your local Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby and get some cheap, you know, acrylic yarn. And, you know, obviously feel it, because if like you want to make house socks like this for somebody, the pattern's perfect, but also worsted works up super fast, and, you know, it can just be an inexpensive gift. And you can make something like this to fit really easily, as long as you have an idea of either their shoe size or the circumference. I think that was something Very Pink Knit said on a video. I think there's a chart on Zappos. Was that it? There's a chart out there somewhere. If you have their shoe size, it'll give you their approximate circumference. But so if you can maybe get their shoe size, you can do that. So anyway, I can gift these now. That was kind of the reason I wanted to record this. I was going to wait until my other pair of socks were done, but I am gifting these this weekend, and I wanted to show them so that I could do that. So there's those. So that's really it for finished objects. Oops, sorry about that. Sip of coffee. It is late in the afternoon. It's like 3:30. So I'm drinking decaf, and for all of you people yelling at me because, oh, it's decaf, I always drink decaf. Okay, so I talked on the last podcast about how I'm going to be working through my whips, which is what I'm doing. I haven't done any work on my Grinch socks because they're a pattern sock, and the patterning is easy. It's the heel toe do-si-do, but if we're out and about, or if I'm watching TV or something, I want something just a little bit more mindless. So anyway, if you remember from my first couple podcasts, this is only, what, episode 5? That's kind of crazy. Episode 5, yay. I finished this back in October, November timeframe. I think it was more November. So anyway, this is from a sock blank called I Want My Mummy. And this was the only one where I knit a heel flap, but if you can see, it does not have a slip stitch. So anyway, I started the second one last Friday because we were going to Adrian's parents' house for lunch, and then we had a bunch of errands to run in town, so I wanted something vanilla to work on. So that's why I cast this on instead of working on my Grinch sock, because that wasn't the plan. I was going to roll right into the Grinch socks and then do these one after the other. But, you know, plans change. So I'm going to put these on the blockers just to show you the progress and kind of talk about my next plan. I don't know. Something like that. Okay, so here's the one I'm currently working on. And I'm almost finished with it. I think because this is toe up and the other one's cuff down, so they won't look identical in construction, but the yarn is the same, so who cares? But I cast on 12 on each needle. So started with 24, increased to 64, did the Flegel heel. And I think I have, if I measured correctly, I have roughly like 15 rounds left of the leg and then a 20 round cuff. And it should be roughly the same, the same as this guy. So I'll just keep putting it on the blocker just to see if they're the same length approximately. And what else did I want to say about this? Oh, 2.25 millimeter. That's kind of my standard for socks, for at least for this blend. I talked about that in Vlogmas and elsewhere. But my plan, the thing that I was going to talk about. So I think for my next sock, which I have it in this bag. So this is going to be the next one I work on, because this is just like my sock blank bag. I have the two in there. I had this one that I knit up too. This was from another sock blank. So I need to knit the second one. So for that second one, I'm actually going to do a different construction. I'm still going to do toe up, but I'm going to finally try the shadow wrap short row heel. And I still think the Flegel heel is an amazing heel. It's easy, relatively mindless, not a lot of stopping and going, you know, no holes, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. But if you look at videos for the shadow wrap short row heel, I kind of like the idea that there's no increasing, there's no decreasing for the heel. Well, there is, but there isn't. You have to look it up. But basically you knit, depending on your gauge, to approximately 2 inches less than what your foot size is. So, and then you start the heel. And it looks relatively easy. If you watch, there's a couple videos on YouTube, one from Earth Tones Girl, one from the Chili Dog. There's probably others, but those are the two that pop up when I search. So they've probably been watched the most. But I like that there's no increasing. I found with this one, and this was kind of the same for the cuff down socks. I'm not really fond of all of the extra stitches that you have to have on your needles. I don't know how to explain it. It makes it a little bit more fidgety for me. I don't know. So I'm excited to try that heel is basically what I'm getting at, to see how does it fit my foot, because I watched a few different videos where they said it was a good heel if you have a high arch, or you know, you just need a little bit of extra room than what an afterthought heel would give, which I've never tried that. I don't have any desire to mark and cut in, and I don't want to do any of that. So I probably won't do that ever. But the shadow wrap, I don't have a high arch. At least I don't think. I think I just have like a normal, look at my dog. I just have a normal, I think, arch. So I'm hoping that it will fit well, and it's easy to do a color change. And Earth Tones Girl, she actually has a video. She has two, one how to do the shadow wrap, and the other one is how to do a contrast. So that's nice. So I'll let you know how that goes. I'm hoping I can finish this guy up today or tomorrow. Like I said, I don't have that much more left to do, but I'm kind of bouncing back between knitting on projects and cutting fabric for the shop. So we'll just roll right into shop news. I am working on my newest collection, and I'll just go ahead and spoiler now. I don't have anything with me, but it is going to be what I'm going to call a spring floral collection. And I'm hoping, cross your fingers, that I can release that in March. I have almost all the fabric cut, and I just have to do the interfacing on it and stuff. You know, if you sew, or if you're a bag maker, those are the most time-consuming parts, is cutting the pieces and interfacing them. The sewing part doesn't actually take too long. That's more enjoyable to me than the other stuff. So I'm working on that right now. So it's going to be a spring florals collection. I have, let's see, like 3 different prints. It'll technically be 4. And I won't give any details away here, but kind of part of that, but it'll be in April-ish. I'm working on my first collab with a yarn dyer. Oh, I am so excited about this. Yeah, so we're still coordinating. I have all the fabric picked out, and I sent her pictures, and so now she's gonna create a skein of yarn that's gonna go with it. And I will say that for my end, it's going to be a project bag cozy combo. That's how we're doing it. That's kind of what she wanted, just because, you know, she'd seen like bag yarn combo or, you know, stuff like that, but she'd never seen the bag yarn cozy skein of yarn combo. So I found some coordinating prints, all that kind of stuff, and I'm super excited about it. I cannot wait. I think it's going to look so cute, and it's perfect springtime prints, and I can't wait to see what she comes up with for the yarn. So I'll announce that on Instagram when that time comes closer, or, you know, I'm sorry, when we get closer to, you know, having everything finalized. And so, yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. So that's kind of like a little bit of shop news. Oh, I also have, along with the spring florals, I'm hoping to either at the same time or before, I might try to do them together just because if people want to buy both, I don't feel right people ordering like one bag, and then if I release something a week later, they turn around and they order another one and they're paying for shipping twice. I know that might sound silly, but it's like, I'd rather just have whatever I'm going to release all at once. That way, if you want to order 2 or 3 or whatever, it'll all ship at the same time. It's pretty much one price for shipping almost. And you don't have to pay all those extra things. But anyway, I have the Gilmore Girls fabric. I already talked about that, so that's not a surprise. I have that cut, so it's going to be sewn up to be released hopefully within the next month or 2. We'll see how quickly everything comes together. I can tell you I will have 12 of those. That's how much fabric I was able to get at this time. If there's more demand for it than just those, then I can definitely make more, but they're all going to be small sock size. So keep that in mind. And the other one I'm going to have, I'll just go ahead and say it because, you know, I can tell you, but you haven't seen the fabric, but it's going to be a Schitt's Creek bag. And it's going to be all sock size too, so the small, but it's going to look really classy. It doesn't say Schitt's Creek on it or anything. But I think it's going to be a really pretty bag, a really classy looking bag. So I'm really excited about that. And I think there'll be 12 of those as well. So, anyway, so that's kind of it for shop news, for right now, except for this stuff. So I talked about this a few months back. I was super excited about it. Had released this graphic, and it was in my shop on like sweaters and coffee mugs and just all the things. Well, and I can't remember if it was a podcast episode or if it was on Vlogmas, but I talked a little bit about how I didn't really know going into the print on demand part of it for my website, all the details. And that, how do I explain this? Basically, the way I had it set up, it was you bought it through my website, but it was fulfilled and everything was printed and fulfilled by a warehouse service. And some of the items that people ordered, because what they do is they don't charge a separate shipping, basically, for the items that you purchase that they fulfill. So they take the shipping out of, whatever, I'm not explaining it right. More or less, it's long story short, I was pretty much losing money. I was having to pay, to have those things sent to people. Does that make sense? Anyway, like if you paid $5 for something, for example, and they turned around and charged me $6 in shipping, I lost $1. I didn't make anything. So, that being said, I've been researching and playing around with how do I keep this going, because I think it's a really cute graphic. I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, I wanted to order some of that stuff, but it's on your website. Are you going to have it back in stock, etc.? And I told them, I'm working on it, and just I would let people know when I figured it out. So basically what I'm doing 10 minutes later, I've decided to go with Spreadshop. I know a bunch of other people use that for their merchandise, but I researched a whole bunch of ones, and they offer, at least to me, the kind of most straightforward model, and if you've ordered from them before for other people's merchandise, the process. So you just basically go on there, and you can, depending on how the person has a shop set up, you can either put the graphic on anything, or they have it to where they have certain things that the graphic is already going to be printed on, and you pick from that list. So I'm still working on that piece, but hopefully by the time I have this up, there'll either be a link in the description, or I'll have a note on the screen about it, letting you know that it's open. But basically, they sell the product. It's the same kind of print on demand thing, but you go there separately and order it and pay for the shipping, and it's shipped to you, and it doesn't go through my website, but I get like basically a commission off of it, off of each sale. And to me, I'm okay with that, because it means that I don't have to do any of the legwork. And you make basically a set amount of money for each product that you order. And if you, they have like volume sales, like if you have so many orders in a quarter or something like that, or in a month or whatever, then you get a little bit more. And I learned from a YouTube video, which this I thought was really cool. They often have times where you can offer discounts, like my shop on Spreadshop, you can offer like say 15% off, for example. Spreadshop actually splits the discount with you. So they take 7.5% off of their price they're making, and then 7.5% off of what I would be making. So you're not taking the full 15 off of what my commission would be, if that makes sense. So you can still make a little bit off of it, it's not a get rich quick thing. But it's just, I have some other ideas for things that I've designed. I commissioned this to be designed. I did not design this because I can't draw. I had already talked about that. But I have some, sayings, or, that kind of stuff that I put in different fonts and etc. that I think would look cute on t-shirts or mugs or whatever. So I think I'm going to put those up there, and that's it doesn't cost anything. So I can put, you know, if I have a thought in my head or a design or something, I can put it up there. And I think just for fun or whatever, I'll put my shop logo up there if people want to buy like a sticker or something, you know, to support me in that way. And yeah, so I will hopefully have that up. I almost have it done. I'm just trying to work out some of the details. It's definitely not like my website where I could customize how it looked completely. And that's okay. It's more just here's the products, go shopping. So yeah, that's kind of what I decided, because as much as I wanted everything to funnel through my website, it just, I just knew it wasn't going to work out. And the only workaround for the shipping thing is I would have to jack the price up for the product. And because of shipping varies from place to place, it's very inconsistent for that. And so I'd probably have to take like the highest price, I guess, from the, you know, US, like from where I'm at or from where they're at. It's complicated and made my head hurt. So as much as I love the stuff that I ordered, and I did, I think you can get comparable items, I'm pretty sure, from the spread shop people. And I'm basically going to have at least the Yarn Nerd logo and maybe everything else. I'm just going to have it on all of the adult items that I think people would want: sweatshirts, t-shirts, tank tops, whatever, accessories, coffee mugs. Obviously this is black, so it has to be on all light fabric. You can't order any dark fabrics. So, yeah, but I just wanted to let you guys know that, because I have had some messages on Instagram and some people asked me about that. And I've been researching it. I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And that was kind of the most logical, easy solution. So anyway, I think that's it for today. You know, if you have any comments, put those down below. Hopefully, like I said, I will have a link to the spread shop here on the screen, down below. But yeah, I will have it linked there, and I will also have it linked to my website. That's what I've decided to do. I'm going to keep the merchandise tab on my website, just kind of a side note. And when you click on the page, it's going to have a link that'll take you to the spread shop, so that if you're shopping for bags or any of the items that I sell in my own shop and you want to look at the merchandise, you can click and it'll take you to a link there. So anyway, I think that's it for today. Hopefully next week, maybe next week, I might record weekly. I don't know. But next episode, I will definitely have these done. Hopefully, maybe I'll have the second one of these done and I'll have those pairs to show you. And who knows what else. So, I will have some mail then too. So just kind of FYI for next time, stay tuned. Yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.